All right, it's better, thank you. Reporting live, I'm Jonathan Hall. Let me stop for a second there. My last name isn't actually Hall, it's Wahl. But it was 5:30 in the morning and I was really tired. I was a new dad and I was on this live shot, and when I ended the shot, I was supposed to say the name of the building that was behind me, but I forgot what the name of the building was. So in the thick of it, I've decided I'm just going to say my name and forget about the building. But then right as I'm saying my name, I remember I'm in front of the Hall of Justice. So here's how it went. Reporting live, I'm Jonathan Hall, Wahl, WHAS 11 News. So it cuts back to the anchor, and he's got this look on his face like, did you just forget your own name? In the scheme of things, it's really not that big of a deal. It was a mistake. We're laughing about it now. And people always say, don't sweat the small stuff. But at the core of who I am, I sweat all the small stuff. At any moment, I can pull up this list in my head of every single time I failed someone. The time my coworker told me I was a bad driver. I'm not, by the way. The look on my mom's face when I disobeyed her as a child, or the time I messed up the date of an event I was planning twice. You see, I struggle to forgive myself and let go, to the point where even something super small, a little mistake at work, I'll be at home trying to play with my wife and kids, and all I can think about is like, I messed up. I made a mistake. And my palms are sweaty, and I've got this pit in my stomach. I know you could be thinking right now, a millennial with anxiety, that's so new. I know. I think part of it is just who I am. I'm a people pleaser, I'm a perfectionist. If you do the Enneagram, I'm a number 1. I'm type A. And there's just this kind of rule I often set for myself that if I don't do it perfect, it really didn't have any value. And I struggle with this, but it's not just kind of who I am. As I've been trying to become a better person as I age, and as I try to set an example for my children and forgive myself and show them what that looks, I've realized that I can trace a lot of this back to this season of my childhood. For 2 years, my family was part of the IBLP, and we did this homeschool curriculum, and it basically was set up that if you follow these steps, you'll get this perfect, happy family. And if you don't know what the IBLP is, it's gotten a lot of attention recently because it's this cult-like group that the Duggars were in. And so at the core of this is this idea of pretty much having to be perfect. As a child, I remember that not only had to obey what your parents said or any authority said, but also what you thought they might want. Like you were supposed to foresee what they could want and make sure you were in line with that. I know, it's pretty much impossible. And in this program, there was this illustration they used a lot, and it was called the umbrellas of protection. And at the top, there's just a big umbrella, that's God, and then there's a smaller umbrella, that's the Father, and then there's an even smaller umbrella, that's the Mother, and then under that umbrella are the kids without their own umbrella. And the idea is that if you make a mistake, if you do something wrong, you step out from under that umbrella, and Satan can get you. I'm not exaggerating. The illustration has these blue down arrows. It's like all black and white. Blue down arrows that say destruction. I know. Looking back at it, I really don't blame my parents for being a part of this group. It targeted families who wanted what was right for their family. But it truly was very damaging. It set a lot of the systems as I grew up for how I viewed myself. And the truth of the matter is now, as I'm trying to work through this, I have to think often about what really is true. The truth is I have a really amazing and supportive family. We've changed a lot since that season of our life. I have really amazing coworkers. When I make a mistake, they don't hold it against me. And I personally am still a Christian, so at the core of who I am and what I believe is that because of what Jesus did, God loves me no matter what. So the only person who's keeping this constant list of the mistakes I've made is myself. So I'm working hard. It's still this process, but as I try to set this example for my kids, it's learning to forgive myself. It's learning to not have that fear of stepping out from under the umbrella and that everyone will see your wrongness and you'll get that destruction upon you. And it's still really a process. But tonight, I'm Jonathan Wahl, live from the Moth, and I'm choosing to believe that I'm enough. Thank you.